It's time to head into my favorite Zen Disney World park. Ready to take on an African safari or dive into the big blue world with Nemo and maybe say goodbye to some old dino friends? Then it's time to take a trip to Disney's Animal Kingdom in 2024. So let's make it happen and learn how to conquer Animal Kingdom next year together here on DFV Guide. Jumbo, everyone! It's AJ for Disney Food Blog. We're about to take an adventure inside Disney's Animal Kingdom Park to give you the basic rundown, the insider tips, and everything else in between that's going to help you navigate around this place and accomplish everything you want to next year. We're going to be covering a ton of stuff today, so if you want an Animal Kingdom cheat sheet that you can refer back to at any given time, one that you can even easily take into the park with you if you need to, just scan the QR code you see on the screen now or head to disneyfoodblog.com/DAK for a free downloadable Animal Kingdom guide right after this. All right, we're going to start with the 101. You may be new to the Animal Kingdom scene or you just might need a quick refresher. Either way, here are some basic yet super important things you need to know about this park. First of all, there are 7 different sections of Disney's Animal Kingdom. Straight ahead from the park gates is the Oasis, a humble section with a few animal exhibits here and there and a lot of hills. But Discovery Island is what you're going to naturally stumble upon if you just keep walking forward past the Oasis, because this is the center of the park, where you're going to find that massive, super iconic Tree of Life. If you're standing in front of the Tree of Life and you head to the back right-hand side of the park, you'll end up in Asia, which is home to the park's one and only roller coaster, Expedition Everest, Legend of the Forbidden Mountain, but we usually just call it Everest for short. On the back left-hand side of the park, you'll find Africa, where you'll be able to take a full-on African safari through the park's personal savanna. And if you take the Wildlife Express train from Africa, you'll wind up in another section of the park called Rafiki's Planet Watch. Rafiki's is one of the more secluded sections of the park, probably because the only way you're ever going to reach it is by that train ride, since it's impossible to walk to. Inside this area, you'll find fun activities and exhibits like the Conservation Station, the Affection Section, and the Animation Academy. If you were to take a left at Discovery Island instead of going to the back of the park, you'll wind up in Pandora World of Avatar, which, yes, is based off James Cameron's popular film series Titanic. Just kidding, Avatar. Currently, this is the newest section of the park, housing 2 of the most popular rides, Flight of Passage and Navi River Journey, but it won't be the newest section for too much longer. Why? Well, that's all because of Animal Kingdom's final area, Dinoland USA, which you'll find more towards the middle right-hand side of the park. At the moment, Dinoland USA is an area that resembles an old-school carnival, themed around all things prehistoric. However, just this year, we learned that Dinoland's time in Animal Kingdom is possibly ticking away, and something else is set to replace it. We'll get more into that later on in the video, but for now, keep in mind that 2024 could be a very important year for Animal Kingdom, simply because it could be your last time to experience this area of the park before it completely transforms into something else. Now, let's talk about the best attractions. So now that we've covered all the different lands, let's talk about Animal Kingdom's highlight attractions. First, meet and greets. Some of the characters you'll meet in Animal Kingdom you'll be expecting to meet, and the other characters are going to take you by surprise. At Adventurers Outpost in Discovery Island, you can meet Mickey and Minnie in their globe-trotting finest. You can also meet dino-rific versions of the Disney crew over in Dinoland USA. Characters rotate out regularly, but you could find dynamic duo Daisy and Donald, you could find Chip and Dale, or Launchpad and Scrooge McDuck. Now, Animal Kingdom doesn't do parades per se. Instead, you can catch character flotillas making their way down Discovery River every now and then. Some of the characters you might see cruising about include Mickey and Minnie, Pocahontas and Meeko, Donald and Daisy, Launchpad and Scrooge McDuck, Russell and Doug, Timon and Rafiki, and Chip and Dale, back in their dino costumes again. Our colorful feathered companion Kevin loves towering over guests in Discovery Island, and when I say towering, I mean it. She's one big bird, and she's a friendly one at that, so don't be surprised if she tries to photobomb your selfies. Now make sure to check My Disney Experience before your visit so you know when Kevin will be out and about saying hello. And then there's Divine. Divine is a bizarre yet beautiful character who walks on stilts, camouflaged in vines and all sorts of greenery. She's not from a Disney film or anything, but she is an important part of Animal Kingdom's park lore. If you're lucky, you may be able to spot her walking around the Oasis. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen, so keep your eyes peeled. And check the My Disney Experience app for potential sighting opportunities. Moving on to shows. Hollywood Studios might be known as the park with the most live stage shows, but Animal Kingdom's got some top-notch Broadway-style performance too that you might end up even preferring in the end. In Africa, you can check out Festival of the Lion King, which highlights the most popular musical numbers from the beloved Disney film, combined with live dancing, music performances, and amazing puppetry. Speaking of puppetry, on the outskirts of Asia, you can watch Finding Nemo, The Big Blue and Beyond, a Broadway-style puppet show where the fish from the Marine Life Institute, as featured in Finding Dory, proceed to tell us the story of Nemo's greatest adventure inside P. Sherman's dentist's office, and how Marlin and Dory cross the entire ocean to track this little clownfish down again. And then there's the much less popular It's Tough to Be a Bug immersive theater experience based around the Pixar film A Bug's Life. This show takes place inside the Tree of Life Theater and uses 4D technology to make it feel like you're part of the bug crew. But not every bug is thrilled to see you there, so be prepared to be misted and poked and maybe even terrified. This show is definitely not for everyone, especially if you've got a pretty major bug phobia in the first place. However, it's not going to be sticking around too much longer, we think. During Destination D23 this year, we learned that It's Tough to Be a Bug will be replaced by a potential Zootopia-themed show that will take guests through the different biomes you only get glimpses of in the movie while traveling alongside Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde. We're not sure when exactly It's Tough to Be a Bug will start undergoing these changes, or if, I guess Disney could still pull back on this tease, but we'll be sure to let you know just as soon as we learn more. Now we've made it to rides. Animal Kingdom may not have a whole lot of rides, but the quality of the rides they have is still pretty top-notch. One of the coolest rides of the park is Kilimanjaro Safaris over in Africa, which takes you on an 18-minute must-do safari ride on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. This is one of the best ways to see a lot of park animals all in one go. For more of the high-speed stuff, you're going to want to check out Expedition Everest over in Asia for winding tracks, steep drops, backwards thrills, and sheer Yeti terror. Asia is also where you're going to find the Kali River Rapids family-style raft ride, which is your basic water raft ride, but still nice to have on a hot Orlando day. And this isn't like a water park ride. This is a river rapids ride. You wear your regular clothes, but you will probably get decently wet. But the rides that get the busiest in Animal Kingdom are the two you're going to find in Pandora. Navi River Journey is that peaceful boat ride through a bioluminescent rainforest, and Avatar Flight of Passage is a 3D ride where guests take a flight on the back of a banshee. For the time being, Dinosaur is still available to ride inside Dinoland USA and is going to take you back in time to the age of dinosaurs so you can help Dr. Seeker track down an iguanodon. This ride isn't a roller coaster per se, but it still gets awfully bumpy and jerky out there, so hang on. Alright, now how about how to get there? Traveling to Animal Kingdom is pretty straightforward because really you only got 3 options. You can A, take a complimentary bus from your hotel, a different park, or Disney Springs. You can purchase a ride-share service like Uber or Lyft or one of Disney's minivans, or you can drive yourself. Plain and simple. Animal Kingdom's parking lot isn't a hard one to navigate, but even if you end up having to park way out in the boonies, there is a tram service available to help deliver you to and from your car. Now, if you're staying at a Disney World resort, parking is free at Animal Kingdom, but if you're staying off property, parking's going to cost you $30 a day. If you're planning on park hopping, this $30 will also cover you for whatever parks you plan on traveling to later on. You'll just show your parking receipt at the front gate of the next park and they'll let you in. By the way, annual pass holders, you get free parking too. Now, let's talk about the things that could really mess you up with Animal Kingdom. AK is probably Disney's most easygoing park, but that doesn't mean you won't stumble upon a few potential stressors during the day. So let's get those out of the way now so they don't make you a stress mess later on. First, rope dropping Flight of Passage doesn't automatically mean you're going to have a shorter wait. At the other 3 Disney World parks, there's typically going to be a pretty popular attraction in each land. This means come rope drop, aka when the park first opens for all guests, crowds are going to disperse so that wait times at each of those big ticket attractions will remain relatively low. So it's kind of like people have to choose between multiple big ticket attractions, so not everybody's going to go to one. However, at Animal Kingdom, rope drop crowds typically head to one ride and one ride only, and that's Flight of Passage. Even if you're using your early theme park entry, which allows all Disney hotel guests to enter each of the parks 30 minutes before they open each day, the same situation is going to happen. All those early risers are going to be piling into Pandora to get on this headliner ride, and for good reason. It's pretty awesome. Unless you're a speedy power walker or you just get super lucky, rope drop and early entry might still have you waiting an hour or so longer before you're able to board your own Banshee. So my advice, use those early morning hours to hit up the other rides instead, since their wait times are going to be pretty non-existent. Flight of Passage does stay consistently busy all day long, but you'll more than likely notice wait times start to dip after 2 p.m. when park hopping guests are getting ready to jump someplace else. To avoid worrying about the wait altogether, you can buy an individual lightning lane for this ride, which will help you bypass the main queue altogether and let you choose whenever you want to ride. Individual lightning lanes for Flight of Passage tend to range around $14 to $17 per person per ride through. And I get it. That's really pricey for one ride. So talk it over with your group and your family, decide whether that's going to be worth it for y'all or not, and if it is, you can purchase an individual lightning lane the day of your visit. These open up for Disney hotel guests starting at 7 a.m. each day, and all other guests by park opening. Okay, second little stressor we need to talk about. Animal Kingdom closes early. Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, they tend to stay open pretty late, until around 10-ish, maybe 9, maybe 10. But Animal Kingdom likes to call it quits early and wrap up by 7 or 8 or even earlier. Does this mean you're going to be put in a major time crunch? No, more than likely you'll still be able to accomplish everything you want to depending on the crowd levels. Kind of like I mentioned before, lots of guests like to start their days in Animal Kingdom and then hop over to another park that stays open later, if they've got that park hopper ticket. However, you can also use Animal Kingdom's early closing hours to your advantage to spend the rest of your evening relaxing back at the resort and getting to bed at a decent hour before your next full park day. Remember, you don't have to be in a park every single waking hour, y'all. You can rest, you can take a shower, or maybe spend the evening at the pool with your fam and order some pizza or something, right? You don't have to be going all the time, and your Animal Kingdom evening is the best time to just sort of relax. Listen, you've been to a park, you've done all this stuff, just take a breather that night. Or you can take a shuttle over to Disney Springs and have a nice dinner, plus do a little shopping, since Disney Springs does stay open even later than the parks do. Totally up to you and your energy level. I don't know about you, but my energy level tends to be pretty low after a day at the park. So with all that being said, Animal Kingdom has just recently added extended evening hours to its docket, which allows deluxe resort guests to stay in select parks on certain nights up to 2 hours after they close up shop. You can check and see when Animal Kingdom's new extended evening hours are available by heading to the Park Hours and Events calendar via the Disney World website. Several quick services close early too, by the way. This is your third stressor for Animal Kingdom. Even though AK stays open till at least 7 p.m. each day, not all of its restaurants do the same. Here's a list of all the quick services and snack kiosks that close early in Animal Kingdom each day. So if you're looking for a quick service meal past 5 p.m., you'll only have 3 options left, and that's Flame Tree Barbecue, Yak and Yeti Local Food Cafes, and Satuli Canteen, which we'll talk about more later on. Table service restaurants also stay open later if you're wanting a nice dinner before wrapping up your day. All right, next point you need to know for DAK Ultimate Guide, should you purchase Genie Plus? I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money. If you want to save and purchase Genie Plus for every single park on your visit, go for it. Lightning lanes are still going to do their job here and help you bypass the main lines of pretty much every Animal Kingdom ride and even some of the shows too. I purchase Genie Plus in Animal Kingdom a lot of the time. I also get that individual lightning lane for Flight of Passage a lot of the time, but usually when I'm there, it's just me. It's not like 8 people, right? Anyway, that being said, unless you're planning on traveling during a really busy time of year like spring break or Christmas, or there are people in your family that just can't handle any sort of ride wait times whatsoever, you really don't need to purchase Genie Plus to accomplish all the rides in this park. And that also goes for Flight of Passage, honestly. Like, if you get up and around and hit all the major rides in the morning first, then you can still jump into Flight of Passage's longer line by the afternoon and take on whatever wait time it's posting and still be able to complete it within park hours. Again, this is assuming that the crowds aren't outrageous during your visit. More often than not, Animal Kingdom keeps things pretty chill, but when peak travel season rolls around, that's when ride wait times can be more intimidating. Now, just to give you more of a visual of what you're paying for when you purchase Genie Plus for Animal Kingdom, here's a full list of attractions that you'll get Lightning Lane access to. Out of this list of options, Navi River Journey is usually the ride that's going to be more worth the Lightning Lane, since waits for it tend to range between 30 and 60 plus minutes. However, even the other more popular rides like Everest, Dinosaur, Kali River Rapids, and Kilimanjaro Safaris usually only have average wait times around 25 to 35 minutes. As for the shows, even our favorites like Festival of the Lion King and Finding Nemo, they don't really need a lightning lane at all. Several times in the past, I've been able to walk up to one of these buildings about 10 minutes before the showtime and still get a perfectly fine seat toward the back of the theater. One thing I will say about purchasing lightning lanes in Animal Kingdom, however, is that it tends to be the park that offers the cheapest Genie Plus price point. But that's for good reason. Even Disney knows it's just not always necessary for you to have that service on hand while visiting this park. And they know that not as many people buy it here. This past summer, Genie Plus prices switched up. So before, all Genie Plus prices were the same across each park. Now they fluctuate depending on the park and the day. So Animal Kingdom usually has the cheapest option of the bunch since it tends to be the park with less lightning lane demand. You can also purchase the multiple park option if you've got a park hopper and plan on using Genie Plus at more than one park, though this multi-park option will be the most expensive one of the bunch. That being said, the multi-park option is probably the most worth it for your Animal Kingdom day because while you're busy conquering the rides in Animal Kingdom just using the regular old queue lines, you can be stacking up those lightning lanes for your next park that you visit. Then when it's time for you to jump over to Park 2, you'll have all those lightning lanes already lined up and ready to go back to back to back. Okay, that's a lot of information to digest all at once, but if you want to learn more about how to use lightning lanes inside the parks and that whole stacking situation, be sure to check out our Genie Plus playlist on our DFB channel when you get the chance. It's all in there. And keep in mind that Genie Plus changes all the time and is getting ready to update in 2024 as well. So don't forget to stay in the loop and check in with us. Join our DFB newsletter. It's totally free. The link is down in the description, and we'll get you the 411 on all things Genie. Time to talk best food. Ready to eat some really, really good theme park grub? Animal Kingdom continues to impress with their variety of adventurous dining options. So let's talk about some of the best places to eat for your specific dining requirements. For quick and satisfying, let's start things off with a surprising entry we don't usually talk about a whole lot, and that's Harambe Market. This is over in Africa and is set up to look like an East African marketplace. Fitting. Just recently, new items were added to this market's menu, including options like rice bowls topped with chicken, shrimp, or a combination of the two, and beef and lamb kofta pies. Now, Satuli Canteen over in Pandora specializes in customizable bowls and steamed cheeseburger pods, along with unique drinks and desserts. Satuli did add a smoked chimichurri braised beef bowl option to its menu, replacing the slow-roasted grilled sliced beef. And while we still prefer the slow-roasted version over this new one, the chimichurri is great for those who love jerky and brisket, which both have a similar flavor profile. And Satuli Canteen has long been kind of the winner for the best counter service in Animal Kingdom, just a heads up on that. Flame Tree Barbecue in Discovery Island serves barbecue classics along with a few twists. One of those twists is my absolute favorite savory snack across all the parks, the French fries with pulled pork and that melty plastic cheese, which just returned to the Flame Tree menu after a long, very sad hiatus. Yak and Yeti Local Food Cafes over in the Asia Pavilion serves unique Pan-Asian cuisine in an open-air dining environment. This spot used to have a delightful mini mango pie for dessert that I like to order regularly, but that has been taken off the menu and has yet to return. The other desserts at Local Food are okay, but you definitely come here more for those hearty sides, like the pork egg rolls and the chicken fried rice. Now let's talk date night vibes. Okay, Tiffin's is the only signature dining experience inside Animal Kingdom. Cultural artwork hangs in each of the 3 dining rooms, but no matter which dining room you're seated in, you're still encouraged to explore and enjoy the displays all around the restaurant the same way you would experience an art gallery. This is basically a little exhibit about how Animal Kingdom was made and created. You've got concept art here, you've got concept exhibits here, like this is what we saw in Africa that made us create this part of Animal Kingdom. Like, it's very cool. Now, you're going to find African, Asian, and South American inspired food here, like that famous Tiffin signature bread service, the tamarind braised short rib, and the chocolate ganache. For any of you planning on getting the Disney dining plan for your 2024 vacation, since it'll make its official return on January 9th, keep in mind that Tiffin's is a 2-credit table service restaurant, while all the other restaurants keep it real at 1 credit only in this particular park. I won't dive too terribly deep into all that DDP lingo right now because that's not the point of this video, but if you want to learn all about this prodigal service as well as if it'll really be worth your time and money or not, be sure to check out our brand new DFB guide to maximizing the Disney dining plan over at dfbstore.com and type in code YouTube to save some money on your total guidebook purchases. So right next door to Tiffin's, you're going to find Nomad Lounge, one of my favorite places, you know. This is an indoor-outdoor lounge that provides good spirits and possibly even better views, especially if you get a table on the patio next to the water. And because Nomad is next door neighbors with Tiffin's and shares a kitchen with them, you can get certain things straight from the signature restaurant's menu. And that means you can get a version of the signature Tiffin's bread service here too. Not the exact same thing, but something very similar to it. For all you beer connoisseurs out there, be sure to try the Spiced Excursion Ale, also known as Kungaloosh. This beer is brewed in Miami, specifically created for Animal Kingdom and Animal Kingdom Lodge. Now, the spiced in the name comes from spices like cinnamon, cardamom, and anise. And then there's Yak and Yeti, an underrated gem of a restaurant that offers up a flavorful fusion of Asian cuisine in a detailed Nepalese-style setting. Absolutely love it here. Go look at all the different light fixtures they have. It's very cool. Now, you're going to hear or read about my team raving over the shareable ahi tuna nachos available here, but the whole shareables portion of this menu is noteworthy since you can get massive portions to split between 2 or even 3 folks in your group for one single price. Other shareable plates include chicken lettuce cups and Korean fried chicken. How about for the kids, though? We already took care of date night. How about the little ones? Well, Dinoland USA's restaurants are more than likely not going to be around in the future. They're still here right now, so I'm still going to talk about them today, starting with Restaurantosaurus. This is honestly one of my very favorite counter service locations in Animal Kingdom simply because of the incredible theming here. Restaurantosaurus not only offers tasty standards like burgers and salads and chicken nuggets, but it's got that really fun theme. As the story goes, paleontology students turn their home base into a restaurant, and now you get to peruse all their cool props and equipment, complete with plenty of sight gags and punny humor while you eat. Pizzafari is located in Discovery Island and offers plenty of indoor seating along with some outdoor tables too. Now, this restaurant may not have the best food ever since it's namely where you're going to find those puffy personal pizzas, but the colorfully painted wall murals and themed rooms filled with detail and designs make it at least worth stopping by and checking things out. Plus, it's pizza, so if your kid loves pizza, they're more than likely going to love it here. Tusker House is a character dining buffet also in Discovery Island, where you're going to meet Donald and Mickey, Daisy and Goofy, all dressed in their safari vest. But no Minnie Mouse here. If you want to meet Minnie, you're going to have to plan a different character dining experience, like at Cape May Cafe at Beach Club, Topolino's Terrace at Riviera, Chef Mickey's at Contemporary, or Hollywood and Vine at Hollywood Studios. The Tusker House buffet serves a mix of both African and American foods, meaning adventurous eaters can pile their plates high with items like tandoori spice-rubbed rotisserie chicken and za'atar braised beef, while those looking for some more familiar entrees can stick with options like corn dog nuggets and mac and cheese. And finally, we've got Rainforest Cafe, which has a huge selection of options, including sandwiches, burgers, seafood, salads, and more. But you don't come here for the food. You come here because you're surrounded by animatronic animals in a rainforest setting complete with the sound of rain and thunderclaps, all under a starlit sky, regardless of the time of day. Granted, Rainforest Cafe is not unique to Animal Kingdom or anything, since several touristy areas across the states tend to have one, but it fits in super well with Animal Kingdom's vibes and is a fun option for the family. Now, how about the 5-star snacks? Dino Bite Snacks is located in Dinoland USA, and we miss it already because this is one of our favorite places to pick up a really good, really large ice cream cookie sandwich that you can easily split with multiple people in your group. So if you want one, get it soon before we say goodbye to Dinoland. And be on the lookout for even more seasonal ice cream sandwiches throughout the year. In the past, we've seen options like peppermint ice cream sandwiches in the winter and strawberry shortcake sandwiches. Those are my favorite for like Valentine's Day. Now, 8 Spoon Cafe has 2 standout snack options that it's known for in Discovery Island. The first is its baked mac and cheese cups, which you can also add pulled pork to if you'd like. And the second is its pulled pork jelly donut sandwich. I know, that sounds more like an entree rather than the snack, and also like I somehow skipped some portions of that because why would you have a pulled pork jelly donut sandwich? But it actually works really well, believe it or not. And these portions aren't huge, so you can still munch on them without worrying about filling up completely before your big dinner. Heading over to Kusafiri Coffee Shop and Bakery. This might be super close to Kilimanjaro Safari, but it's still easy to overlook. It's just a window. And it offers up quick bites for breakfast, including new options like the egg and bacon croissant sandwich with tomato pepper relish and the breakfast tacos with eggs, bacon, and cheese. But if you come back by later in the day, you'll be able to grab different options like flatbreads, a harissa chicken wrap, and a super unique plant-based option called the Impossible Gatsby, which is a pita pocket with plant-based picadillo, tomato pepper relish, and crispy potato sticks topped off with a plant-based aioli. Pongu Pongu over in Pandora is most known for its fruity and colorful drinks like the famous Night Blossom, made with layers of apple and desert pear and limeade, and topped off with boba balls, but it's also not a bad location to pick up a quick breakfast before getting in line for Flight of Passage. In the morning, you can order items like Marshall's favorite stuffed pancake sandwich, that's brand new, cinnamon rolls, or the Pongu Lumpia, which is a pineapple cream cheese spring roll that you can actually order here all day long. It's a little bit controversial, but I love it. Tamu Tamu Refreshments is the place to find a good old-fashioned Dole Whip inside Animal Kingdom, but along with the classic pineapple, you can also get Dole Whip floats here too, and boozy ones at that. Recently, Tamu added 2 new Dole Whip float options. The first is a non-alcoholic Dole Whip orange soda float with strawberry syrup on top, and the second is an alcoholic Dole Whip hard cider float featuring Dole Whip and Ace Pineapple Craft Cider. So aside from the rides and shows and restaurants, there are other aspects of Animal Kingdom you're not going to want to miss. And these specific attractions are the ones that Animal Kingdom pros tend to prioritize as often as they can. First, walking along the animal trails. Animal Kingdom has 3 animal-centric walkways. There's the Maharaja Jungle Trek in Asia, the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail in Africa, and the Tree of Life trails around Discovery Island. So why do the pros tend to prioritize these when there's so much else going on around the park? Well, because they're highly themed and feature tons of live animals, and they're a great way to get away from the more congested park areas, like Pandora, for instance. Pandora can get real packed all day long, and if you're getting overwhelmed by the sea of people, the walking trails can provide you with a way less people-y and more animal-driven experience. Next one is the Wilderness Explorer program. So this goes back to the movie Up, and Russell, he was a wilderness explorer, and you can join the Wilderness Explorers program at Animal Kingdom and collect free explorer badges around the park. The whole Wilderness Explorers Guide is totally no cost. It's a handbook you can pick up from any of the troop leader locations around the park, and this handbook will point you in the direction of where you can go to collect your badges. You'll be required to take on little tasks at various stations across the different Animal Kingdom lands in order to earn those badges, which makes this activity fun and educational, and a great way to pass time when the kids are kind of getting burnt out on all the rides and the lines. And you can be on the lookout for limited time badges too. Depending on the season, you might be able to collect an exclusive badge to add to your Wilderness Explorers collection, like we've seen pop up around Earth Day in April. You can also consider a backstage tour. If you can't get enough of Animal Kingdom, how about this? Animal Kingdom offers 4 unique VIP tours. Caring for Giants is an hour-long experience which offers guests a closer look at the African elephants that call Animal Kingdom home. Savor the Savannah is an exclusive evening safari tour of Animal Kingdom's Harambe Wildlife Reserve, followed by African-inspired small plates and beer and wine from a lovely private viewing area on the Savannah. Up Close with Rhinos is another hour-long experience where you get to meet with the rhino keepers, who will then take you backstage for an up-close experience with the mighty but gentle giants in a special viewing area. And Wild Africa Trek is a 3-hour tour of the Safi River Valley, an area of Animal Kingdom Park that is typically unseen by guests, which also offers small plates and drinks too at the end. Here's a list of the different prices you can expect to pay for each tour. While the prices for each of these tours vary, all of them will be a separate price on top of what you're already paying for your theme park tickets, so make sure to save room in your budget accordingly. And don't miss out on those seasonal celebrations. Animal Kingdom may not have any over-the-top holiday parties like you'll find at Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, nor does it have seasonal festivals like you'll find at Epcot, but that doesn't mean this park doesn't like to party. During April, Animal Kingdom celebrates Earth Day, not on just the actual day, but all month long. During this time, you'll be able to find limited-time treats, special photo ops, rare Disney character meet and greets, exclusive merchandise, and other seasonal offerings that'll help celebrate Mother Nature. And when Christmas is upon us, that's when the Merry Menagerie comes out to play. I don't know if you've picked up on this by now, but Animal Kingdom loves its puppets, and the Merry Menagerie features wintry, artisan-sculpted animal puppets that walk around Discovery Island to mingle with guests, and we love it. Christmas is also when the Tree of Life Awakenings Holiday Edition show starts up in the evenings. Tree of Life Awakenings is normally a colorful projection display that lights up the Tree of Life each evening once the sun goes down. In the summer, the Awakenings show takes a break since the park tends to close before it's dark out, but it returns once again when the days start getting shorter. And for Christmas, we get a specialty Holiday Awakenings display with a new Merry score, shimmering lights, and lots of snow, despite it being in Florida. All right, we've held off on talking about this long enough, but let's get into the nitty-gritty. What on earth is going on with Dinoland USA? At the 2023 D23 Expo, Disney Parks Experiences and Products Chairman Josh D'Amaro shared that Disney is building on what makes Animal Kingdom so special by creating an entirely new land potentially based around the tropical Americas. This could include areas and attractions inspired by fan favorite stories like Encanto and the Indiana Jones films. So guess where this new land is going? That's right, where Dinoland is right now, at least potentially. Disney explained that Imagineers are taking inspiration from some of the most biodiverse areas on the planet to make this reimagined land as authentic as possible. While Disney hasn't stated if the Tropical Americas concept is 100% for sure happening, it seems very likely at this point, at least that something's going to go into Dinoland that's not Dinoland. So what does this mean for an Animal Kingdom trip in 2024? Honestly, possibly nothing. Disney admitted they've still got a long way to go before they're ready to fully dive into this project, and they also just said at the recent earnings call that even though they've committed to spend $60 billion expanding the parks and experiences and products, that's probably not going to happen until the second half of the 10-year projection. So, there's a good chance we would still be able to experience Dinoland in all its prehistoric glory for most of 2024, if not all of it. However, what we can tell you for certain is that Dinoland's days seem to be numbered, which is a mixed bag of feelings. On the one hand, it'll be cool to see the magical, mystical realm of the Madrigal family come to life, as well as join Indiana Jones on another of his epic and life-threatening adventures. But on the other hand, Dinoland's been a part of Animal Kingdom since it first opened in 1998, and the nostalgia factor is real. But it's not the end just yet. If you want to see Dinoland before these transformations start taking place, then 2024 is the perfect time to visit this park. And of course, we'll continue to keep y'all in the loop when we hear more about the future of the Tropical Americas, Dinoland USA, and any other up-and-coming additions to Animal Kingdom. So what do you think? Is an Animal Kingdom trip in your future for 2024? All right, we have definitely explored this wildlife-centric park today, but don't forget to pick up your very own and very free 2024 Animal Kingdom guide over at disneyfoodblog.com/DAK. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.